Welcome to Haul Yeah Comics. My name is Nate, and I have issues. And today's issues are all going to be Christmas themed. I do collect Christmas covers, and throughout the year, whenever I pick up a new Christmas cover, I throw it in the front of my filing cabinet here, and it's something that, like, around this time, I go through, and I look at them, and I give some of them a read. I've always kind of collected Christmas covers. It started here with this Christmas with the Superheroes digest. This is actually a childhood book for me. And this was an introduction, honestly, like to a lot of DC characters for me. John Stewart and the Sandman and the Teen Titans. The stories in here are reprints, and I actually have picked up, over the years, I've picked up some of the originals that these stories have come from. And today I'm actually going to show you one of the originals, the original books that one of these stories came in. So I'm really excited for that. Now, before we get started, I wanted to wear something festive, so I went and found a Christmas sweater, and this one here was made by my friend Poor Boy Steve. This is a Rad Christmas sweater, based on the movie Rad. It is an 80s BMX movie. Steve is a BMX writer and artist, and he creates, a ton of really fun things that are themed around geek culture and BMX bikes. I'm gonna link his Instagram below, and you can go to his store and check it out. My wife got this for me last year for Christmas, and I really am over the moon about it. So I knew I wanted to wear it for this show. Also, make sure you stick around to the end, because the last couple of books I'm going to show are going to be the ones that are like my favorite Christmas pickups of the year, and I'm just, honestly, they're really cool. Whiskey. I've got the books grouped into some sections, and I'm going to start with some superhero covers. So this is Superman number 165. This one was a gift from my friend Eric. He and I are both pretty big Superman fans. This issue was a lot of fun to read. This is there's a variety of artists who worked on this. And the story of the issue is that Superman is flying around, and he's kind of consulting with other members of the JLA. He's struggling with how he should handle Lex Luthor becoming president. And he has a conversation with each member of the Justice League, and at the end of the conversation, he leaves them with a present. And each section of that is handled by a different art team. It was a lot of fun to read. This was a cool book. Now, up next is, I quit picking up the Silent Night series that came out this year, but this one I found in a dollar bin. This is issue 4, a nice Dan Mora cover. I really do like the way that Dan Mora draws Batman, and we got Santa fighting down here. So I found this one in a dollar bin. Like I said, I dropped the series that came out this year because it just didn't hold my interest, but for $1 I'll pick up almost anything. Then we've got the Marvel Holiday One-Shot here. I'm not sure what year this is from. I do have to wonder though, like, anybody who's in spandex, they've just got to be freezing on the top of this building, don't they? Pretty cool cover. Speaking of has to be freezing, in Guy Gardner Warrior issue number 39, Guy is Santa Claus trying to go down the chimney here. I don't know who the elf character is next to him, but neither of them is dressed for the weather. And Guy Gardner Warrior is such a weird 90s take on the character of Guy Gardner. I'm glad he's a Green Lantern again and not doing this, whatever this weird crap was, but regardless, great cover. Whiskey. Got a couple more DC holiday specials here. So this one's called the DC Holiday Bash 2. I can't completely tell what's going on here, but it's like the heroes are looking down into some presents, and it's being lit by Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern's ring. But this one here is really cool. This is a 100-page giant with a Andy Kubert cover, and I really like how every hero on the cover is doing some kind of winter sport. So Flash is just running, but if you get a good look, so Batman's on a snowmobile, Supergirl and Batgirl are on sleds. I think Harley is on a snowboard. Wonder Woman is on skis. It's a really cool, everybody's coming at you type of cover. It's really cool. And not to mention, there is a lot of story in there. That is a square-bound 100-pager. That's going to take me a while to get through. Got a couple Superboys here. In this issue called Christmas Wishes, everybody gets the ability to fly. Great Kevin Maguire cover on this one. Kevin Maguire did a lot of the Superboy, especially Adventures of Superboy from the TV series at the time. He did a lot of these covers, and I picked them up just for those. But you know, this one was a double dip because it's Kevin Maguire and it's a Christmas cover. And then in the New Adventures of Superboy, number 39, he's in The Town Without Christmas. The Town Without Christmas? No, it's A World Without Christmas. So he's in A World Without Christmas. I don't know why they're wearing gas masks, but they're throwing snowballs at him. He's carrying a wreath, and he has a really odd grimace on his face. Superboy, oddly enough, I come across quite a few Christmas covers in the different Superboy titles. All right, this next one is Teen Titans number 13. This is a 12-cent DC. This is a Nick Cardy cover, and this is the original story that is like their own version, their retelling of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol that is in the Christmas with the Superheroes digest that I had as a kid. So this is great to have, number one, because I didn't have the cover, but number two, like in that digest size, you know, you get the full size Nick Cardy art, and Nick Cardy is somebody who I am just, you know, really realizing what an amazing artist he was during the Silver Age of DC, and this is just great. So it's a weird story where it's Mr. Scrouge instead of Mr. Scrooge, and there's a junkyard where they have like a ray gun that can turn junk back into like new cars or things. They're trying to rip people off. So it's a pretty cool, it's a good story. It was a good read. I like that it's called A Christmas Happening. Not sure what, you know, I'm not up on all my 60s lingo, especially when it comes to Christmas, but this was cool. The next couple I know I picked up at my LCS Mages in Greenwood, Indiana. So this is Brave and the Bold number 148. So a team up with Plastic Man and Batman. What is the tagline on this one? The night the mob stole Christmas. We're gonna take out Christmas. Christmas sleeps with the fishes. Good cover. We got Plastic Man and Batman fighting mobsters and saving Christmas. I mean, what's more superheroic than that? And then the next one is DC Comics Presents number 67 with a great Jose Luis Garcia Lopez cover of Superman teaming up with Santa Claus against the Toyman. This is one I've had on my list for a while, and I can't remember, I think it was like $4 or $5, and I saw this at Mages when I was digging in the bins when I took, you know, Eric from SideQuest Comics and Rich from Big Nasty and Johnny, and we all went digging together. And Eric from SideQuest said, if you didn't get that, I was gonna get it, but I got it. This one's mine. This one's been on my list for a while, and I thought, I mean, $4, come on, that is a more than fair price for this book. Great cover. And then the last superhero, though not really superhero, but, you know, from DC and Marvel, is going to be Man-Thing number 3. So I thought this was really funny to see Man-Thing with a Santa hat and a beard. This is also written by one of my favorite writers, J.M. DeMatteis. So this is one I haven't had a chance to read yet, but one I'm really looking forward to, and one that, you know, may just have to find its way to our friend Brandon at Mon Comics, because if this is one he doesn't have, it's definitely one he needs. This next section is all independent books or books from independent publishers that have Christmas-themed covers, and several of them I got from friends of mine. They were gifts, but these first couple are ones that I definitely bought. The first one here is one I wish I hadn't bought for a couple reasons. This is the Jim and the Holograms Holiday Special. Now, the first reason I wish I hadn't picked this up is it's just not a great cover. I grabbed it simply because it said Holiday Special and I thought I'd give it a read, and I did, and that's the second reason I wish I hadn't picked it up. It wasn't very good. So this was not a lot of fun to read, and it's not a great cover to look at. So this one's probably not gonna stay in the collection, but regardless, it is a Christmas cover that I picked up this year, so I wanted to include it in this year's video. And then this one was not a gift, but it is a gift from my friend Rich at Big Nasty Comics, because he's the one that made me aware that it existed in the first place. And that is the Bathroom Girls Guide to Holiday Chaos. I'll let you go ahead and look at that cover for a few minutes. This is a weird book, no question. And you gotta be a little afraid when you see a title called Bathroom Girls, but it's not what you're thinking, if that's what you're thinking, and if it is, seek help. But it's It's actually about these girls who like go smoke in the bathroom. They're a punk rock band and they just want to get out of school all the time. And so yeah, it's a very punk rock indie type book. It's very roughly and crudely drawn and written, but it is enjoyable in that regard. And there's a lot of things in this book I'd love to talk about and show you, but they're just like horribly inappropriate for the season and for the channel, to be perfectly frank. But if you want to see something that's a little bit over the top, yeah, Bathroom Girls may be for you. It's a very short-lived series. If you like really raw indie stuff, it might be something worth checking out. This is one that's definitely going to stay in the collection. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these next three were all gifts from Stevie D, from Comics with Stevie D. So the first one is called Naughty List Number 1. No idea. We've got a guy wearing a Santa hat with a crowbar, so he's out to spread some Christmas cheer. This one here is super cool. So this is Clerks, the Clerks Holiday Special. Is that what it is? Yeah, the Clerks Holiday Special, with a cover by Jim Mahfood. So this is Kevin Smith written, Jim Mahfood art. I really like Jay all tied up in Christmas lights there, just, making that face. I like Jim Mahfood's art a lot. So this one, and I am a fan of Kevin Smith's writing, so I'm excited to check this one out. This was a cool one to get. And I may have shown this one last year because I'm pretty sure I already have it in the collection, but this is one that somebody gifted me because they know that I do enjoy Christmas covers, and that is the Troll Christmas Special. So Troll was an Image character who, came from that Extreme Studio, that Liefeld wing of comic books in the 90s. And it's just kind of that over-the-top extreme humor, let's put that in quotes, because I don't think I laughed when I read it. It was pretty rough, but yeah, I mean, you can't pass up a Christmas cover that's this insane. And speaking of Christmas covers that are insane, Brian LCS gifted me this one at Heroes Con, and it was something that came up, and everybody, I cannot remember the exact scenario where this book came up, that he showed it and everybody said that they wanted it. Somehow I ended up lucky enough to be the one who got it. This is a Bad Idea one-shot, Sleigh Bells. Because what you want to see is Santa Claus with a gun, taking care of business, making things jolly and bright. Thanks, Brian. And then the last indie Christmas book I'm going to show is an oversized trade paperback for The Simpsons Holiday Humdinger. And there's the back cover there with Bart in a snow globe. So, I pick up individual issues of The Simpsons anytime I see them for a good price. I pick up the trade paperbacks whenever I see them because I just love The Simpsons. I've literally watched it since it launched on the Tracy Ullman Show as like a little, bumper in between their different skits, and became the phenomenon that it was. It's been a huge part of my life. It's still, pretty much every day I'll turn on an episode of The Simpsons and take myself a nap. Fun fact, the first episode, the pilot episode of The Simpsons, was a Christmas episode, so it just kind of really fits. So this was something that I found this year, and I think, when I flip through, I see, here's Itchy and Scratchy. But I feel like I've read a lot of these stories in different issues of the comic that I have individually, but it's still really cool to have them oversized and to have them collected all in one place. And then the last chunk before we get to my top Christmas pickups of the year is going to be all Archie. It's really easy with the longevity of the Archie series and the fact that every year that it's existed, they've had Christmas issues. It's really easy to come across Christmas issues of Archie, and I came across quite a few this year and picked them up. This first one I absolutely just hate it. So this is when Archie, what did they call it? Archie marries Veronica, Archie marries Betty. They did two different versions, and in this one it's issue 3 of him marrying Veronica, and it's a Christmas cover, but there's just something about the art that looks off to me. It's not Dan DeCarlo, it's not Dan Parent, I don't know, it's Stan Goldberg is his name, and I just don't like the way he draws the Archie character. So this one doesn't speak to me in that same regard, but again, when you find these things in a dollar bin, it's really hard for me to pass up a Christmas cover and it's really hard for me to pass up an odd Archie series. My next two are Little Archie, which is, kind of like that kid's version, like the Peanuts version of Archie, and I don't generally pick those up very often, but these were both Christmas themed. So this is Little Archie number 127, and this one's pretty beat up. I don't know if you can see how well you can tell, but it was way more beat up than I thought when I picked it up. But it's got Archie and the gang, and they're waiting by the fireplace for Santa to land so that they can get autographs. Kind of a cute cover. And then, again, another dollar bin find, Little Archie number 163, where Archie's unwrapping a present from Betty, and it's mistletoe, and she's using that as an excuse to give him a kiss, and Veronica is using that as an excuse to be a bitch. I don't know if I can say that. Whiskey. So yeah, they're showing that the rivalry exists even when they're little kids. Speaking of Betty and Veronica, I got a couple holiday themed or Christmas covers from them too. So Archie's Pals and Gals, we've got Betty, noting the big flakes of snow that are falling, and Veronica's calling the guys building a snowman big flakes. Cute cover. But this issue of Betty and Veronica number 547, this one's so beat up, but I couldn't pass it up. It's just too cool to see all the different characters dressed as Santa with a sack of toys. So Miss Grundy, Mr. Weatherby, Archie, everybody's all dressed up. Even Jughead and Hot Dog down there in the corner are getting in on the fun. So yeah, this is cool. Betty and Veronica wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Very cool Archie Christmas cover. In Betty and Veronica's Christmas Spectacular, number 536, Veronica says, "Good things come in small packages." Would somebody tell Mrs. Hall, yeah, that please? And then Betty is disagreeing and saying, "Not all the time," which is saying more about Archie than I want to know. In Archie's Christmas Stocking, number 605. 605, that is insane. Archie's begging Santa to check the good boys list again and make sure he's on there. Now this one I just showed in a very recent video that I picked up at Ganadu in Greenwood, Indiana. Archie's Christmas Love-In. Archie's Giant number 169, the one where Santa is some kind of hippie guru. And I did give this a read. I read it shortly after I had made that video, and like the hippie part of it was in one of the stories, but it wasn't Santa Claus, it was just Archie like spreading the word of brotherhood or something. I don't know, man, the 60s were weird. So in that story, yeah, he was trying to spread peace and love through Christmas. It was fine. Like most of the stories in here, they're fine. They're just, they're fun, general, like little humorous Archie stories. They just all have a Christmas bend to them. So this was a fun read, and while I was getting ready for this video, that's when I realized I had another issue of Archie's Christmas Love-In. So this is number 192, and on this one, not as weird, but like the Archies are playing at an orphanage or something. No, children's ward. So they're playing at a children's hospital, but I thought, like, are they decorating a dead tree? At first I thought maybe the color was just off, but there's a wreath over here that's bright green. So why the tree is such a dull green brown doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it just is so indicative. Like when you look at the style of clothing everybody's wearing, Christmas Love-In, and then the 60s, we've got the mini dresses and the big flared jeans and bell bottoms. So just a big product of its time, but still very cool and something that I was definitely gonna pick up. So now we've come to the end, and I'm gonna show my top 3 Christmas cover pickups for this year. And I'm gonna start with Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge. So this is a 10-cent Dell. Now here's the thing, like this is in gorgeous shape. The colors look amazing. It's very crisp. I got this and a summer beach party collection of Donald Duck stories as well, and it was also in just impeccable shape. I found them both at my local shop, both for a really good price. I paid $4 for this. This was at Free Comic Book Day. This was in kind of one of their little discount bins. And I mean, I didn't even hesitate. So we've got Scrooge with a wreath of money, because of course that's how he would decorate. And then on the back, we have Scrooge wishing everybody a Happy New Year. And I thought that this was really cool. I was a little disappointed in that when I read it, it is, it's from 1957, great Carl Barks stories, however, not Christmas themed at all. The only thing that is holiday themed is the cover and then the back cover, for New Year's. So this must just be that's the time of year that this came out, and they decided to do that with the covers, but they didn't do anything with the stories. But that's okay. Still, great cover and something that I can easily display around this time of year and really enjoy. So a really good pickup. So this is a book that Hagen showed that he had picked up. This is a treasury edition of Christmas with the Superheroes. DC's Christmas with the Superheroes is a title they use over and over again. It's the title of that digest that I picked up as a kid. There are 2 regular size comics that I have that are both called Christmas with the Superheroes. There's this one. This reprints some Golden Age stories from Wonder Woman and Superman. It reprints a Batman story. The back cover here just kind of showing a similar, like you're in the house. So on the cover here, you see them flying in front of the moon and there's this house in the background. And then I think when you turn it this way, it's like you're looking out the window of the house that's on the front cover. So it's in pretty good shape. And when Hagen showed this, I was immediately jealous, and I tracked a copy down on eBay and had it shipped, and I don't regret it one little bit. I love these treasury editions. There's something about reading one of these oversized books. There's no way to do it on a table or in your lap, so I always just kind of put them on the floor and lay down and read them, and it just really takes me back to being a kid, because that's how I would read my comics. And yeah, as far as Christmas covers go, this one's great. House of Mystery, we've got, like I said, we've got some Golden Age stories, and yeah, man, Santa. So up next, my number one pick here is 2 books, and they are not Christmas covers, but they are very much Christmas themed, because these are catalogs, but they're presented as comic books. So this is the Heroes World catalog. From what I can tell, Heroes World was a chain of shops, toys, comic books, things like that. Here's what's really interesting. When for those of you that didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s, we would get what was called a wish book, and Sears and JCPenney and Toys R Us later on, KB Toys, they would put out all of the hot toys and things that were coming out for Christmas. You'd get those in early December as a kid, and you could go through and circle or cut them out and show your parents, these are the things that I want for Christmas. And this is that same concept, but this is produced by the Joe Kubert School. So on the inside here, I would love to just do a better deep dive into these, but they list all the artists who work on it. And then instead of photographs of the toys, when you go through the things that are available for sale, they've had their artists draw. And so this is issue 1. I did not buy this one. This one here was a gift from Rich at Big Nasty Comics. So as you flip through, you see toys like these Rock'em Sock'em things. We've got superhero finger puppets. This is from 1979, and this would be the year that Star Wars toys would actually be available, if I remember right. And like I said, I would love to do a deeper dive into this, and maybe just record flipping through the whole book, because it is that flippin' cool. I mean, every kid wanted the Battlestar Galactica Cylon Bubble Maker. On the back of this one, on the back of issue 1, is a line of toys I've never actually seen for Lord of the Rings, with Aragorn and Frodo and all that. This is, as far as I know, this is before the Ralph Bakshi animated movie, and definitely before the Peter Jackson movies. So yeah, I'm not sure where where the popularity for this came from at the time. So issue number 1 was a gift that Rich from Big Nasty Comics gave me at Heroes Con. It's something that I think he had shown and I commented on, and he gave it to me, which was super cool. Then I'm at when he came down and we went digging at Half Price Books, I found issue number 2. So I found issue number 2, and this is also the same thing. It's from the different artists from the Joe Kubert School working together, and instead of showing the photographs of what the toys and everything are, they drew it. So there's a bunch of Mego dolls there. Look at these electronics here. This is nuts. The electronic toys of 1979. How cool is that? Like I said, I could flip through this thing all day, but I would be remiss if I did not show you the back of this one, having some wicked awesome Star Trek the Motion Picture toys, including this sweet ass Star Trek belt with flip open belt buckle. Man, I wish I could have got that back in 1979. So yeah, these are wild, not because, you know, they're Christmas themed or, you know, in particular, whiskey. So to me, these two books are wild because they're Christmas themed, in that this is something that a kid would have looked at and said, these are the toys I want, you know, this is what I want for Christmas. But the way it's presented as well is just kind of like so cool and so unique. And up until this year, I had never seen these before. So Heroes World catalog, I've got issue 1 and 2. Man, you know, if there's more, I'd love to track these down too, because they are just wild to flip through and you think, did they make all of these toys? Were these all available? Or, you know, can you still find some of these things today? I mean, you better believe I'm going to eBay to see if I can find this Star Trek belt. So that is it. That's a lot, actually. I'm looking at it on the table over there. I can't believe how many covers I picked up this year. But, you know, in the process of a year's worth of digging, whenever I would pick up a Christmas cover, like I said, I would kind of set it aside, knowing that I wanted to do a little showcase at the end of the year. And here it was. So I so much appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. I hope that you have a great holiday season, however it is that you might celebrate. Please give the video a like, subscribe if you would, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the books that I showed this year, and I guess that's it. I will see you in the next one. Happy holidays. Bye-bye. Here we go. Here come the burps. A little holiday cheer. That was an intense one. Whiskey. Put this one in a new bag real quick, because that one was gross. But it's still a pretty cool Christmas cover. Oh man, and this book smells amazing. Itch my nose here. Try this again. This is the Heroes. Let's try this again. Whiskey. We're gonna do this again and try not to mumble and sound like an idiot.